Welcome everybody to Boys of Summer. My name is Jeremy.
I'm Joe.
And today we just got out of the movie watching San Andreas, the new disaster film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yep.
So, what did you think, Joe?
I thought it was pretty good. I think, first of all, we should address that we are in some new surroundings, obviously. We're no longer recording by candlelight, as we had. We're moving up. And,
I like to say moving to this side.
Yeah, so, but this is New Digs, and we had a pretty good movie.
It was okay.
Yeah, I think...
it was better than 2012.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely... we can kind of get into that. I mean, first, like I said, we're about an hour after seeing it. I mean, just what was your overall feeling as soon as the credits hit?
Oh, as soon as credits hit, I don't know. It was kind of underwhelming. It wasn't that. It was if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was not in this movie, I would not care.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely...
He made the movie. It had some fun moments. The dialogue was pretty cheesy, but...
Yeah, I mean, they definitely skipped on the writing for the sake of the action pieces.
Yeah. All of the action pieces, the CGI stood out to me.
Well, too. Yeah, I mean, we can get to that. I mean, my first impressions was that it was fine. It was, I didn't feel like it was a waste of time. I mean, that's not really a glowing review.
Wasn't a hot pursuit.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I think that it was a little repetitive. Like, I felt like it didn't bring anything new to the table in the disaster film sub-genre.
No, I totally agree. It hit all the same points as all the other disaster films.
And I mean, even, like, in the interior of the movie itself, like, just encapsulated within the movie, a lot of the set pieces were, like, identical to each other. Like, it was a lot of people avoiding things, smashing them to death. Like, it was a lot of that. And then the second half was people getting, like, blasted away by surging water. It really wasn't...
Yeah, it really did. And the plot was very simple. It was basically a disaster film where Rock tries to find his daughter.
Well, with the disaster film, you don't really need, like solid plot, a built-in storyline or anything. It's kind of inherent to the fact that there's a disaster. I think one thing it fell short on is the movie never just why was this happening? Why was the biggest earthquake ever recorded happening? There was no reason given. It just was.
The fault line slipped.
But that's there's no reason why that would happen. It's just it just so happened that today was the day.
It's Mother Nature, guys.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if there was just something, like someone was building, like they were doing construction of some sort.
Zeus.
Especially because you had fucking Mr. Fantastic and being an architect and everything and building. That could have been... He could have been an integral... I mean, because he was already sort of built up as a pseudo... antagonistic type guy. He was the bad guy,
He was a waste, I thought, in the movie.
Yeah.
I thought he really didn't even need to be in there. I also thought...
I thought Paul Giamatti...
Oh my gosh, I was about to say the exact same
thing.
He really did not need to be in this movie
His
either.
parts took me out of the movie. Even though... Or if he had to be in it, at some point him and The Rock had to get together.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
But him just being an independent person...
He had his own storyline, which I felt like you could just cut.
Or follow one or follow the other. Don't follow both. Or if you do so, don't make it 95% one character and 5% the other character.
I actually thought that kind of hurt the movie, because you speak of that, we also follow The Rock's daughter. And I thought it was we had 3 different storylines.
Yeah.
It would have been better if they would just focus on Paul Giamatti's, the daughter, or just The Rock. I thought it would have been better if we just followed
stayed with The Rock?
Stayed with The Rock.
Yeah.
Because obviously you go to see a movie for The Rock, so he carries the movie. He has the most charisma out of everybody. I mean, he's not the best actor, Paul Giamatti is, but, it would have been, if we could just follow him, Paul, or even if you just did a storyline with the daughter... I just felt if we stayed on one person, it would have been a lot better than flip-flopping back and forth.
Yeah, like, maybe have him, because there was, like, a really contrived, like, to explain why The Rock and Carla Gugino are no longer together. You know, like, to kind of underscore it, we had the whole thing where it was the stepdad kind of stepping in for The Rock. And, you know, like, and taking her to, like, her trip or whatever to see the college or whatever it was. That got, like, dropped really fast. But,
it did. It got dropped
but,
so quick.
I felt like if you just had him and his daughter, like, kind of go on the trip together anyway, and then this stuff happens, it would have been a lot more interesting than him and the way him and the mother get together to try to find the daughter. I think him and the daughter trying to find the mother, and, like, kind of playing off of that, like, how they're a fractured family, and how it's kind of tough for him, like, to have to rescue this woman who he's fallen out of love with. I feel like that would have been more compelling than the way they did it.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. It would be even cool to follow Paul's character, because I was kind of interested in him predicting the earthquakes. It would have been kind of neat to follow, just if you took The Rock out of it, and just had Paul Giamatti's character. I think it would have been interesting to follow that.
I think that's why it took me out of the film, because I was really interested in the stuff Giamatti was doing. I mean, they had more built-in drama between him and his lover.
They played it like it was a lover, but there was no built-in.
Yeah.
It was like 4, so it was like, we're just going to slip this in here. You should take it, believe it.
Yeah,
this is what's happening.
But I felt like there was more inherent drama in him losing his partner and then being like, they didn't listen to me. They should have... Like, you could have developed that and made a full movie out of that.
Be like, you didn't listen to me. Now this is happening. Like, I mean, this movie, I felt like there was a good idea, and just like Tomorrowland, you could have went so many good ways with it, but instead they stuck with the generic disaster film. Had good times, but overall... It's just okay.
Especially because it's like you have like the manic energy of Paul Giamatti and like the like natural charisma of The Rock. Like, how do you resist putting the two of them in a scene together? Like, that should have been the movie. Is for some reason they get lumped together, and like them having to deal with each other, and like The Rock having to find a way for him to get the message out and stuff. Like, that would have been the movie. The Rock trying to help him get his message out, and then go save his daughter. That's a much better movie
than what we saw.
Not to say that what we saw was bad.
No,
by any means. It was passable.
It was.
I also feel like they didn't let Giamatti like let loose enough. Like, it was a kind of sleepy.
Well, like I said, the dialogue was really cheesy.
Yeah, I mean,
really felt like you let people stay to the script, and I don't know who wrote the script, but whoever wrote it was just a generic writer. Yeah. It felt like. I
mean, we got to see the good old saying the name of the movie in the movie scene, almost like Ken Watanabe's Gojira. Like we basically
that was awesome though.
Yeah, we basically got Dwayne The Rock Johnson at one point, like looking almost in camera, like just barely, like eyeline, just barely out of looking in the camera, going, San Andreas fault. Like, we got that. Like, we actually got that. I didn't think they'd go there, because it was already like obvious that that was where we were at or anything. Like, they'd said San Andreas.
Paul Giamatti also said San Andreas several times.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, it wasn't like the same kind of. It was weird to do like the dramatic reveal when that's like that's what the movie is. So it's not like a big thing. It's just you're saying the name of the movie in the movie. And B, because, it's already been said. Like, we already know why it's happening. If we didn't know why, then it was like the big reveal, like, this is the San Andreas fault. It's the San Andreas fault's fault. Like if we had if we had that, and I think then it like serves a purpose. But it was campy. It was a lot of campy dialogue. It was a lot of just stock dialogue. A lot of, what are we gonna do? Like, I felt like that was all Carla Gugino, and she's like a really good actress, but that was like all she contributed to the movie.
She didn't help out The Rock except running the boat through the window.
She had that one moment.
Other than that, she was like, "What do we do, Rock?"
Otherwise, what did we do?
Yeah,
all she did was hit the emotional points. Like, and I guess like kind of help, which I don't even know if Rock really needs that kind of help. I mean, I guess if there's any like part, like any kind of acting sort of like role that he needs someone to help carry the weight, it would be like an emotional like drama type scene, like maybe just having that like, you know, like the mother of your child, like kind of having that for him to bounce off of. But that's like when that's all she serves, like when otherwise she's just a damsel in distress or just there to kind of help push us to the next point, then I feel like it's a waste, especially with an actress that's as good and accomplished as she is.
No, speaking of everything about this movie, I did not like the special effects in this movie at all.
Right.
I felt like for a disaster film, I mean, of course you can't make a disaster, but the special effects need to be on point, and they were not. Especially the worst part was when The Rock and her were falling
on the
boat.
Yeah.
It was like you knew it was green screen. I'm like, how much money do you have for? Did you run out of money?
Yeah.
Like, it honestly is what my thought was, because it was terrible.
It definitely felt like maybe...
It was... I mean, you could make a better... I could do a better green screen job than that.
Well, it's really weird, because, I mean, you had some, like, really awesome, like, building collapse type stuff. And maybe you're right. Maybe they were, like, running low on money coming into the third act, because it was, like, a considerably noticeable drop-off from, like, all the buildings collapsing and all that to the, like, them on the water.
It was completely green screen. It was bad green screen. You're like, it's green screen.
It's like you went from the Avengers to, like, a sci-fi original. Like, that was, like, the drop-off.
Oh, I know. And and exactly as they say, like, in Avengers, it's hard to tell when you're on a green screen or not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in Thor Dark World, I could tell when he's walking up, that's a green screen.
Yeah.
But, like, in Avengers, there's very rare that it's tough. I have to actually look and pay attention to see if it's a green screen or not.
Yeah.
The Rock, it was just like, as soon as they drove by, you're like, oh, wow, really?
And it's such a disservice because, you know, there already has to be a suspension of disbelief just to be like, the largest earthquake ever is happening. But then, like, when you look like the character, like, walked into a GameCube video game or something like that, like they did, like, a Cool World style, like, entering into, like, a cartoon dimension, when it's, like, that noticeable of a drop-off, it just kind of it's silly, and and the movie was silly anyway. Like, can we talk about like that opening sequence? Because first of all, the tone with the girl who was like reaching back.
Oh my gosh!
And then like texting.
I mean, for a sec, you knew she was going. I thought she was going back into something.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I guess the boulder one. It was the lead that the ground was moving.
Yeah.
But she like flipped. Flipped. I'm like, this bitch is dead. But she lived.
Yeah.
How did she live? That's all I want to know. Like, you talking about suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
Right from the opening gate, like, this is not real.
But it wasn't like such a weird, like, didn't you feel like that was going to be the tone of the movie? And then the movie took itself a lot more seriously throughout most of it. But that was like so silly. Like, I was like, okay, I know. Like, it was like Final Destination silly.
It was, because it's like no one should be able to survive that.
Yeah.
Like, she flipped down a hill and her car was still kind of intact and got stuck on the side of the thing.
And The Rock like ripped the whole door off of the frame. Like, it was like really goofy. And then I was like, okay, now I know what to expect. And I'm down for that. Like, I was down for a kind of goofy, like Fast and Furious type silly action movie. And it sort of took like a weird, like, because then it had to hit the emotional notes of like, you know, his family's falling apart, the death of his younger daughter, and all this other stuff. And it's like, it took itself, like, it started taking itself really seriously, which was weird when you start off with a girl, like the dumbest girl in the world, like the most irresponsible driver ever.
She
like,
was
wrecking in like the worst possible way, and somehow The Rock's still saving her. Also, random. Do you know the actor's name from Arrow that was in the movie?
Oh my god!
That plays Arsenal.
I cannot think of it, but I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that, because that whole team was pointless.
Disappeared.
They
Literally
just like
disappeared.
They were in there for the first 15, and last time you saw The Rock, like, he was in there, one scene gone. Then you saw that little other black dude and him going and gone, and it's like never came back. I'm like, why do you even have
that? Was a
in
waste.
The movie?
It was a waste. Like,
I mean, I'm glad they got a paycheck. But
yeah, I mean, they got their money. But
other than that, what's the purpose? Just have The Rock by himself.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand why, especially because they like went through the trouble of like the exposition of we've been a team since Afghanistan. We've always been together. You know, like all this stuff. Well, clearly not. When the shit hits the fan, you're gone.
It's The Rock all day.
Yeah, that was really weird. And I felt like that could have helped. That could have helped The Rock having sort of, because that black guy was obviously like sort of like comic relief, and I felt like the movie kind of needed that.
Talking about another direction the movie could have gone, you could just gone with The Rock and his team.
Yeah.
And just forget about the wife and daughter. Just go on The Rock and his team.
Well, I think the daughter gave him a goal.
I mean, it could get, maybe they're going to rescue his daughter.
Yeah. Definitely keep her in it.
You could just focused on the team, and that's another way you could have gone with this movie.
Honestly, yeah, keep the daughter and the mother together. Keep the daughter and the mother together. Like, for some reason, because he has to work. The mother takes her. Still have the rib.
Save them.
Yeah. And yeah, it's him and his team. And then you could have, instead of like just creating a random love interest for the daughter, kind of like, I mean, yeah, Armageddon did it, but have Arsenal be the daughter's love interest or something. And then you have a setup kind of dynamic between him and The Rock, him and the daughter, The Rock and the daughter. Like, then everyone's kind of interconnected. Everyone has stakes, is what I'm trying to say.
I liked
Everyone
her love
has
interest
stakes.
in the movie.
He was good, but it was kind of out of left field. It was just like the most charming guy in the world just happened to be like waiting there at Riddick. Like, what a name! Like this movie, like I felt like like I wish this movie was just a combination, because we had the guy that played Reed Richards in the two Fantastic Four movies from the
and then he talked about going to see Susan.
Yeah, his ex-wife was named Susan. You have Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic himself, with an ex-wife named Susan. It's like, because I immediately, that's all I see him as. Like, I don't see him as King Arthur or whatever from that terrible movie. I see him as King Arthur. Yeah, the King Arthur movie that no one remembers. Movie. I mean, I don't know. It
I
never.
Like that movie. I own that movie.
Cool. So, but yeah, like all I see him is Mr. Fantastic. So then you have his ex-wife be Susan. His last name's Riddick, and he has a big building that just says Riddick over it. I was like, if this was just a weird crossover movie where the Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four, and also weirdly like connections to like other things, because fucking The Rock and Vin Diesel working opposite each other and Fast and Furious. Mm-hmm. It's like having like all these weird tie-ins. I'm just saying a Pitch Black / Chronicles of Riddick / Fantastic Four disaster movie. Bank. We're doing effing 21 Jump Street and Men in Black. Let's do that crossover.
You should do Disaster and Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That would be
exactly.
dope.
We got one last road.
Literally. Yeah. Earthquake going around.
There's no more roads.
Vin Diesel just falls into the earth and just comes back out.
Yeah. Vin Diesel drives across water like automobile Jesus. Like, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, I mean the special effects were lacking definitely towards the end of the movie.
It was not good.
What about kind of sort of wrapping up? It ended sort of weird, didn't it? Like, didn't it get like really randomly 9/11 nostalgic? Which, I mean, of course, the imagery, like the buildings falling and everything, it was all there. But towards the end, having like the firemen come in, like the cavalry, and and then having the American flag waving, and it was like a horrible CGI. Like, why couldn't you have got a real American flag? It was like the worst CGI American flag ever. But
it was the best.
And then The Rock just looking off into the distance, we will rebuild. Like, it was just like so like hammy out of nowhere. That's what I just.
The movie was. I'm telling you,
the tone was everywhere. The tone was everywhere, and I feel like that is a rewrite problem. I feel like someone wrote a really cheesy, like Fast and Furious, like later Fast and Furious type disaster movie. That's what I'm thinking people did at the maybe at the beginning or at the end, but it also in someone's hands it was like a weird family drama trying to bring the family together.
I think it just went through probably studio rewrite.
Yeah, I think it had too many hands. Like we'll probably have to like look just to see like where like how many people are underwritten by. Yeah. But I guarantee you there's at least 3 different people because this movie feels like 3 different things. I feel like someone had to do someone entirely different did the Paul Giamatti stuff too, because that almost felt like an afterthought.
That almost was an add-on.
Yeah, because it's like they were all like in basically the same set the entire time for that part.
The only thing they did was do the CGI. They might have went to the Hoover Dam, but maybe not.
Yeah, but that felt like an afterthought, and either the very beginning scene was either something that just survived from the first draft or was tagged in just as like a quick attention grabber at the very end. Like the studio was like, we need to have something to show how awesome The Rock is right off the bat, and let's grab these 2 actors randomly, and one of them is from Arrow, so we'll kind of get some of that energy. Like it felt like that kind of decision.
I think Paul Giamatti was on set for like a week,
if not a day, because most of that stuff where it was just like, get under something.
All right, so I want to talk about The Rock's daughter because The Rock's in the movie, his wife had an affair. Or they adopted her.
His daughter is 100% Caucasian. Like Alexandria Daddario, she is just straight up a Caucasian woman. The Rock is half Samoan, half black, and his wife is like Italian. But there's no way, like, genetics doesn't work that way. It doesn't work where your mother is white and your father is not.
But it's so rare that's not believable in a movie.
Yeah, and it's like, was there not like a comparable like biracial actress, Latina actress?
I mean, you could easily found one.
You could have found some. There's plenty out there right now. The same age. Could have done just as good a job. It's just like a really weird casting. It almost felt like was The Rock the first choice for this?
I hope so, because he's a pretty big star.
Yeah. Then they must have had trouble casting the rest of the characters, because they must have been like, we definitely have The Rock on lock,
or they're just like, fuck it.
Who cares? Like, who's going to pay attention? But it was like really weird because like the very first scene you see her like at the poolside, she's just like white, like just white as white can be. And then like halfway through the movie, they were like, "Oh shit!" Like maybe they did notice, because then she's like got a very noticeable tan, but she's still just a white woman. Not like there's anything wrong with it. It was weird. Like why do we have to do it where? Like, just screw it. Like, let's just throw in like a white actress. Like it, like not like saying like it's a problem. Like I'm not trying to go on like some kind of like rant of like affirmative action in Hollywood or anything like that. I'm not trying to go there with it. I'm just saying like it kind of takes you a little bit out of the movie, because then you're kind of like laughing like that's supposed to be his daughter. Like you said, it like there's several points in this movie where just suspension of disbelief blown, and you're in like a Hollywood movie, and that you're in possibly not a top-notch Hollywood movie.
No, it wasn't that good. I mean, I think we should just go straight to score, because I know what my score is.
Okay, go for it.
Rent.
Oh, yeah.
Rental. Mine's a rental. I don't think you need to see this in theaters. You can pay matinee price, but I think this is a great rental for home. Sit at home, just like Tomorrowland was for me. I'm going rental again, 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Hopefully next week. Oh, never mind.
No,
next week's
no.
But
I was actually gonna go rental too. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I know. I was
really differ.
I know. Well, it's just too tough, because I feel like I mean, we spent like $10.25 on this, and it was like I kind of walked away like feeling like felt the noticeable void in my wallet of that $10.25, and that's like what you don't want.
No.
Like, if anything, it's like whatever price you pay for a movie. Like, I mean, the second time I watched Avengers, I hate that we keep coming back to it, but it just is the top movie that we've seen.
It's probably the best movie we've seen. We haven't seen Mad Max yet. So
yeah.
That's the only one we're truly missing.
Don't skewer us for that. But Yeah, like I saw Avengers twice, and the second time I spent $7 more for IMAX 3D, and I still felt okay about that at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't like there was a mix up there, and like we weren't supposed to see that, but I didn't mind it. And if I like spent like I could not imagine watching this in IMAX, like, that would be rough.
That'd be really
rental. Go ahead and see it like when it first comes out. Like try to grab it or something because it's a fine movie.
Yeah, I think it's great for rentals. Yeah, I think you'll have a good time at home.
Yeah, I mean it got a little long in the tooth towards the end. Like I was kind of like, all right, let's wrap this up.
That's so funny you said that because I thought the same thing. I was like, when is this movie going to end?
Yeah, because it was like really weird. Like once they got to the daughter, I was like, is this end of the second act or end of the movie? Like I just didn't know where we were even at. Like it was like just this weird because there's just so many like action sequence like back to back to back. You kind of like lose
and
yourself.
And there really was that we talked about the loose plot. You really couldn't follow. Be like, okay, I know we're in the second act. I know we're in the third.
No,
act.
there was no.
You really couldn't tell.
It was
in this movie.
It was like all second act. It was like from the start. Like there was like 10 minutes of first act and then a bunch of second act.
And then we're
saluting the flag at the end, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And we don't even know if there was anything at the end of the credits. I don't know why. What we said to each other I had this idea because at the end it shows a map of California and like the spot where the San Andreas fault, like where it was hit, it actually created like a separate island. And I was saying like it'd be like really funny if the sequel is like now they want like sovereignty as a nation and the US wants to bring them back in the fold and The Rock has to lead the resistance to stop like so that they can maintain their independence. Like San Andreas 2, that should be it. That should be it. Like
there will be a San Andreas 2.
Yeah, it should be called like Shattered Union or something like that, and it would be amazing. And it would be much better than this. This was fine.
I bet you there will. If this movie does well at box office, there will be a San Andreas 2. Might be a straight-to-DVD sequel.
It'd totally be.
But if this movie does well, I guarantee there will be a sequel without The Rock, though.
Yeah, there should be.
I guarantee The Rock will not be in it, and it'll be somewhere else.
The sequel would be like they took like a different angle of some shots of this one and just inserted people in even worse green screen, and like so you can just like see The Rock and Carla Gugino in the background as like some other people are going through shit. That's what they should do. Do like a totally like someone else's perspective, but where The Rock is sprinkled into it. That would be hilarious. That old couple. Let's do that. But
that just we're like, fuck it, let's die.
Yeah, but yeah. That's about it. I mean, there's nothing really else to say. Next week we had a choice between Spy, the Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy vehicle, Jason Statham, Jude Law too. Like it was kind of randomly stacked, or Insidious 3.
We did disagree on this one because I said Spy and you said Insidious.
Yeah, but we ultimately agreed that a bad comedy, which I feel like Spy could be, is a lot harder to digest than a bad horror film, because a bad horror film you can derive comedy from. A bad comedy is bad because there's no comedy. And there's nothing else
and
after
we've seen
that.
The first two Insidious.
Yeah, so we have like a basis. So yeah, Insidious 3, for some reason it's not a sequel, it's a prequel. Don't know why. Yeah. We know everyone survives, at least the old lady and her team. Who knows about the family? Who cares about the family? That's the problem with a prequel, especially for a movie that's too deep already and left the second one on a cliffhanger. Why do we not get to see what the old lady sees that has her so scared? She's a fucking ghost. What is scaring this ghost so much that we have to wait a whole other movie to see it?
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll find out next week, and we'll have to wait 2 more years before we find out.
We're not going to find out at all.
I don't even care. We need to end this.
Well, yeah.
This shit's getting too long.
But yeah, okay, so it's been Boys of Summer. I'm Joe.
I'm Jeremy, and thank you for watching.
See ya.
See ya.